when we look at Nigeria now, what do you think about how we as a society continue to handle the issue of gender-based violence?
In all honesty, I think that we're not adequately giving I don't like calling women victims. Survivors the space to share their stories without shame. So around 2018, 2019, we saw the Me Too movement happen. We saw protests in Nigeria, like Busola Akolu coming out to accuse the pastor of Koza, and there were protests about that. But post 2019, after 2019, we're not seeing a lot of movements that encourage women to actively speak. So yes, sometimes women call out rapists and sexual abusers on social media. But one thing I always ask is, what is the aftermath of that?
Yeah.
Is it a case where young girls who are watching just know that, oh, this man has been called out for being a rapist or being a sexual assaulter, and give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks, he's out, launching his new clothing line, or he's out talking about how some of them even rebrand to being women allies. Some of them get into feminist spaces to, some of them get into feminist spaces and start manipulating the resources that are supposed to be for women and girls while still being sexual assaulters. So to answer your question, I would say women are speaking up more. I mean, if I'm going to put myself here, in 2020, I called out somebody who assaulted me. But I would say we're not giving survivors the adequate support that is needed to ensure that if they call out somebody who has assaulted them or raped them, they do not face the repercussions of actively talking about it. The shame is slowly removing, I would say in my generation, because I'm proudly Gen Z. The shame is slowly removing because we've seen a lot of Gen Z women come out and say, this guy did this to me and I'm not going to wear that shame. But in terms of how adequately we are providing survivors with the tools to navigate, calling out, the aftermath of calling out, I would also say, and I'm going to bring class here, not every woman has the tools and can afford to speak about a man who has sexually assaulted her. A few weeks ago, I'm not going to mention his name, we saw a very big case of a musician who was accused of, sleeping with, quote and unquote, sleeping with his domestic help. Allegedly. Sleeping with his domestic help, or rather, sleeping with his domestic help. And then I kept on wondering, like, how many women can even afford to say, this person did this to me without their jobs being on the line.
Because it's a power imbalance.
It's a power imbalance. Without their jobs being on the line, without being told, oh my God, just take it in, it's a good thing for you that he's, looking your way and all of that. So it's a complicated conversation. On one hand, I want to say